episode of Geek Shop. With me again is Chris. Chris, say
Hey,
hello.
hey everybody, I'm back home.
Yes, Chris was on a long trip to Canada, so now he's back home.
I'm back home to Asia. So, but only for a short time. I'm actually I will have news in the near future about possibly a future destination, and I will not be here long. So it'll be interesting. So
And just to let people know, Chris is a Secret Service agent, so his espionage and all that stuff moves around all over the place.
there you go. So
So, what are we talking about today?
I had this odd idea, this odd story, this odd thing that I thought we could talk about, and I thought if we could make toys for our comic books, what would the toys be?
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Of course, the standard thinking for every geek is action figures.
I see. I thought that too, and I almost thought of including except action figures. So we can
That's
probably
a good one. That's a
both
good one.
agree that action figures would be the number one thing. I didn't want to say except action figures because I knew that it would be the first thing said. So I figured we could both agree that action figures would be our first choice. But like so let's say okay, we have our action figure line. We've got our main characters. What would be like the next one? I have an idea. Actually, it's funny. I don't have an idea for my own, but I have one for TikTok's home that I think would be really cool.
And I have one for yours. So you go first.
So for TikTok Tom, I thought of marionettes, like
That's a
puppets,
that's a that's the upper class action figures.
sort of. I guess so. I mean, if you get into that, I mean, I just think it would be really cool to have but some of the characters really work well with marionettes, and some of the artwork that people did, like Tom's artwork in particular, sort of
Yeah,
looks puppety.
Tom's would be good in playing around. Yeah, you're right.
That's
And
why I thought
no,
marionettes.
and having our creepy characters and not creepy but strange stories, the movements and stuff would fit perfectly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it would be kind of cool, and I thought sort of like the old the British what was that TV show, the Thunderbirds or whatever,
Thunderbirds. Yeah,
like that style of
yeah,
marionette, but TikTok Tom characters. I thought would be really cool.
yeah. Oh,
So
that would be. Yeah, I could see that.
yeah,
And the
it's
marionettes would be completely oh, in modern day, I mean, that would look really unique.
yeah, I think it would. I just and nice like a few feet tall, and so and you could have the different range, and even have like a little pigeon marionette, everything like that. Like it
I
would just
don't
be so
I
cool.
saw I saw a thing on marionettes on YouTube a while back, but honestly, I don't think marionettes have been used in last who knows when.
I think the last marionette movie was a spoof movie, and that was the Team America movie.
Oh, that one, yes, yes, that was like 20 some years ago or something like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of it's funny. Probably the part of the reason why it came to my mind is in Asia, Southeast Asia in particular, marionettes are still very popular, like theater. So
Oh, really?
there's shows and stuff you go to, and there used to be in several countries there's like marionette festivals, and there's in Cambodia they do like shadow puppet type marionettes.
Yeah, but I've seen. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So it's quite popular. Even kids still love it, and the shows I've heard the shows in a lot of these countries can go for like days. Like literally one
Oh,
show will be
wow.
like 3 days long. So
And you know what? It gives that more personal approach to seeing theater, basically. Old
yeah,
style theater. Where live acting. Oh, yeah, live. It is live acting.
yeah.
You know.
I've seen some stuff done where I am right now, and there's this troupe that does the traditional shows here, and they're amazing. And they do weird things like they lift objects up. They have this whole system, so
Oh,
their marionettes can
really?
actually pick up objects and put them back down and everything. It's really amazing. So, but yeah, I thought for TikTok Tom, I thought because of the creepiness factor was definitely part of it.
Yes,
But I think that would be a really cool idea. Would be to do marionettes for TikTok Tom.
we should start making one.
So what's
Paper
your
mache one.
exactly? So what's your idea for Blue Orchid?
Blue Orchid, reading your comics and seeing the demons and things she fights should be a perfect video game.
Yeah, you're right. Even I think like an old fashioned side scroller like Double Dragon.
Yeah, like that, where the same scene, the same background scene, and just moves along.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. And yeah, you'd have all the secret moves and stuff like that.
Remember the old, really old bad Superman game where he's just going up and down the screen, up and
Yeah.
down, and that's it. Someone, not bad as that, but something like that.
I was thinking of Double Dragon. You remember that game?
Yeah, Double Dragon. Yeah,
I was thinking something like that might be good. The other thing
yeah,
that,
the guy in the blue and the red, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. I think there's a movie of that too, isn't there?
Probably.
Probably.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure it wasn't good because we don't remember much. I barely remember anything on the movie.
Yeah. Trying to think of there was something else that I thought of for TikTok Tom that might be kind of cool. I mean, I think the other obvious thing for both of them is cosplay, like costumes. Like I think a pair of TikTok Tom goggles and a clock you could stick to your head. And it's funny, and I know that I saw the sticker sheet. So this is just to let you know that there are TikTok Tom stickers. Am I correct that there are stickers in the works?
There's a sticker sheet coming out. I have a sample proof of it here,
Okay.
and the proof is just me printing it on my ink laser printer,
Yeah. So
and I didn't pull this out because Chris was going to talk while I was caught by surprise on this. I just added here, and here's a larger version of that sticker sheet. Just me
okay.
doing test copies.
Awesome. So I mean, already you've sort of have a toy if you want to consider a sticker a toy. But I also
Yes,
thought
stickers. Yeah,
temporary tattoos for TikTok Tom would be neat too.
I've been thinking about that. That's been in. Ask Tom. I've been mentioning that for a few years now, and
Yeah,
saying maybe do something like that.
I think that would be really cool. I don't know how, or I don't know how one makes temporary tattoos or any, I'm sure there's a
No,
company out there.
there's companies now making. I was looking at our logo here. I was thinking of just making temporary tattoos of the logo. So that's coming up. Now you got me
I also
interested in
think
that one.
Iggy's eye,
Yes,
a
yes.
temporary tattoo, so you can
Hmm.
get her
Put it
the
there.
cross on her eye. That would be kind of cool too. So,
That
because
would be good.
yeah. Now, I mean, I know you've been doing TikTok Tom for a while, and I don't know if this is, does anybody actually have a TikTok Tom tattoo?
Not they told me of. No.
Okay, so if you're out there and you're a TikTok Tom fan and you've got a tattoo, let us know.
Please send a pic.
Send a
Only
pic.
decent photo. Decent photos, please.
We'll blur out whatever's indecent about it.
Yes, yes. But what I was going to say with your book, Blue Orchid, is you don't see these anymore. A pop-up book,
Yeah,
because
I've thought
imagine
about actually doing it,
imagine opening up and having that rock creature come out.
and the buildings and everything.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, pop-up book could be perfect for your book.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what to do on chapter 4. Now you've got my brain.
But a pop-up book would be so hard to organize. And how, printing, well, Asian countries, you might be able to get it, because those type of things are still popular in Asia and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I mean, well, books are huge. I mean, I when I
Yeah.
travel anywhere, it's like, I was in I was flying through when I went to Canada. I flew through Taiwan, and they had like a manga section of the airport.
See, that's great because, Western world, well, Europeans still love comics, but North America, it's like, comics they don't want to see anywhere,
Yeah,
anymore.
unless James Gunn is directing it, nobody wants to see it anymore.
Even that, even Archie is are hard to find now.
It's true. It's true. But it's like, yeah, but I think that would be kind of cool, a pop-up book.
Pop-up book would be good. It'd be
There must be
especially your
somebody
book.
online that makes them, that can produce them and sell them if you design them.
Here in North America, I think it would be really hard and expensive.
Hmm.
But Asian countries, I could see it because, like you said, printing's still popular, and people are even like for East Indian thing, when you look at wedding invitations,
Yeah.
they have decorative wedding invitations that have, not even 3D printing, but what do you call it? Cutouts and things like that in it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that like tourist stuff. Like when you go to Thailand or Bangkok, you'll
Yeah,
often see
that's
people on
it.
the
Yeah,
street just selling these like beautiful little cutout things. Like you open it up
yeah.
and there's like a whole tuk tuk built up in 3D and everything. So hmm, you got me thinking about it, and I'm gonna have to
or
look
even a
into that.
or even a even a pop-up cover.
Yeah, yeah, I got ideas. I'm gonna think of something.
This brings up the funny thing with Derek Barton, and who's here off and on Geek Shop. We were talking about doing a comic on his character Molitor, and I told Derek, you need a gatefold cover where when you fold it out, his mullet comes out.
That'd be awesome. You know, I mean, I know this is sort of off the topic, but something that nobody has ever done, which I think would be amazing. So, obviously, centerfolds, we all know about them for adult stuff, but some comic books have had like pull-out posters and centerfolds
Pull
in
up
them, right?
posters, yeah.
I've never seen a centerfold pull-out poster that it was incorporated into the story of the comic book.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
It's
because
always
most of
just
them are
sort of
just
another
pinups.
image of the
Yeah, it's another
characters.
image pinup. Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool if, like, in the middle of the story, in the middle of the book, you had a fold out, but it had like there was a reason for it to be in the story of the comic book.
I know when I did the minis, when I had the fold up poster, um, first of all, it's hard to do because not hard, but you take the 11 by 17 sheet, fold it in four, and then you have to make sure you staple it properly and fold it back. But doing a story, that would be, yeah, you're right. What even I didn't think about that because when
Like,
I
'cause it would
no
be
no
cool.
no actually no actually in my one of the stories I think I had 2 pages. Then when you open up the thing, you see the poster.
Interesting.
So I did have two of the comic pages on the back,
Okay. So
but
technically, my fight, I did a story called Fire Monster, which is just this short chasing a monster. If you actually
yes,
put those pages next to each other, it actually makes one long scene.
yes, I remember you were showing me sketches. Yes,
So I'll post a picture of that here.
yeah,
But I think it would be cool if like I said, it was like just a big fold out poster, but like maybe it was like, in TikTok Tom, it could be like he's gonna blow something huge up. And
and you
so you
just see
just
the
get to that, and
yeah.
then you get to the poster, and it's just a massive explosion. So it makes it feel just that much bigger.
So this stuff we're talking about, poster, the pop up and all that stuff. Technically, would that fall as a gimmick?
If it works with the story. If it works, it's a gimmick, but it's okay. It's not like, back in the 90s with like the foil covers where like half the time you're looking at it, you're like, okay, this is pretty and all, but like it's stupid. Like there was some of the hologram ones
Yeah,
where it was just a square of hologram just stuck to the
that's it.
cover.
I I watched one of the guys I watch a YouTube channel on, and he did a thing on gimmick covers, and he talked about that. He got some of them had like baseball card size hologram, some had bigger ones, but it really did not do any justice to the cover.
And didn't tell anything about the story. It was just a
No,
picture.
that's it. It was yeah.
So
Okay, so for Blue, for your book, no, I could see as a pop-up book or of course, I mean general pop-up book and video game, but and also, I mean, your comic would work perfect as an animated, animated show or movie because it
yeah,
has that animated, look to it.
yeah, there's not much text and there's lots of action. That's sort of I think it's I mean that's where I started was animation. So the idea of movement is important to me throughout. So
That's it. Yeah, it would work perfect as that. Yeah.
I've actually got like as you know, I post drawings fairly regularly on my social media, and I've actually got a drawing that I'm working on right now, Blue Orchid, and it's actually her doing a kick, but I've done like a bunch of different hers sort of moving to the kick, so it's actually animated. So if you pull it apart, it'll actually be like 8 or 9 drawings of her kicking.
So one thing I'm surprised you didn't bring up, and I thought maybe you would be the first one for your character or my characters. Um, those candies fest.
Yeah, like Pez. I think that that would work.
Pez or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
Can't
Pez.
remember what. Pez. That's it. Yeah.
I think it would work better for yours because you have characters. Like you have a, I have like two or three characters that appear regularly, and then just a bunch of monsters. Whereas you have like, you have different ones, and you even have characters in like different versions of them, like different dimensions of them, and different like times and everything like that. So you could have like, you'd have the TikTok Tom, and then the 1940s TikTok Tom bonus one or something like that. So
One
it's
thing
like,
I would say, one thing I do have to say, I would say a big no, no, no for me is Funko Pops.
well, that sort of
Sorry,
falls under
I'm just
it's the action figure
it,
thing.
it does, but Funko Pops are not action figures. They're not. I'm old school. Come on, just do real action figures. Bobblehead with the big heads or whatever. Come on, you know, it's
Although
overrated. Let's just say that.
although I'm sure if Funko knocked on your door and said, "We'd like to pay you to make TikTok Tom Funko Pops," you'd be like, how much?"
We'll talk when that happens.
Yes.
I'll do a video explaining yes and no or why I did
How I sold my soul to Funko.
that. Yes, that's it. No, but that's interesting. You always think about, I mean, any comic creator will think about, technically how to merchandise their characters,
Yeah.
video games, comic books, TV shows, movies,
T-shirts.
anything. T-shirts, yep, t-shirts sell. Not sell, but they show off. Yeah.
Yep.
T-shirts, things like that. So you think about, and like what you said, the biggest one is like stickers.
Yeah.
I've been doing stickers for years and years, and they work because you know what? Even if people don't like, are not interested in your comic or, at a show or something, walk by and look at, you always give them a sticker. Everyone's happy to have a sticker.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've ever received a TikTok Tom comic without opening an envelope full of stickers. I think I have a drawer full of TikTok Tom stickers. So it's like,
That's great.
but of course
No, but
every new sketchbook I get gets one on it. So
new one. There you go. See, and I think that's one of the best, if you want to call it merchandising. It's great. I mean, yes, I like to see an action figure and whatever. That would be good also, but you know, actually that would be interesting to check and see if they do make custom action figures.
I actually have a friend, and we're talking about trying to do a Blue Orchid action figure at some point, like even a prototype one at this point. And
Yeah,
he suggests doing it. You can sculpt them and then scan it, or you can build it in 3D and print it in a 3D printer. But you can also use they have these 3D pens that you can use that do like 3D printing with a
yeah.
pen. And he actually has a collection of them. He's always often told me, he says if I ever want to borrow his, he'd lend them to me, and I could try making a. The closest thing I
Well, I
actually
bought.
I haven't totally completely gone away from that because I actually have made that.
Yes. Oh wow, nice,
So
nice.
it's not perfect, but it's
See, my son, I bought him a few years back a 3D printer. So I've been putting him used to on some. I got him to make some TikTok Tom comic book stands. So
yeah
when we go to stores, and someone did recommend doing a 3D printing action figure. Only problem is like, for me, the time I would spend trying to create a 3D version of them and stuff like that, I could create two, three books. You
yeah.
know, it's that's why I haven't jumped on that opportunity yet.
Although there's more and more like you can get bases for them and then just sort of customize it a little bit nowadays, right?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yes, you're right. You're right.
So it's like, yeah, it's something like you could even get like you
Yeah.
can buy blank action figures nowadays and you could just use Sculpey and make it finish, just finish it up. And so it'll have the articulation and then you just have to add the
And
features.
you just that's it. Yeah. Okay. See, a lot to think about nowadays on this type of stuff.
I think it'd be kind of neat. It's like for me, I'll be honest, like some people don't like merchandise, but for me, merchandise is kind of fun. Like I love designing t-shirts. I love, you know,
Oh, depending on the merchandising, I mean, you know, not saying you want to go all George Lucas and, merchandise every single thing, have your picture on a dog food box or, things like that, but, it's, like you said, if someone comes knocking on your door, you're most likely not going to say no to that because They're going to
Yeah.
give you a big paycheck, you know. But on our end where we don't have that opportunity, and just like daydreaming, saying, what would you want? Would you want that? Like we said, no action figures, but what else would you want? All the options we gave are really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be, it'd be fun to do a lot more, even things like this.
Yeah. You know what I would, so I mean, this is more my realm as I'm not going to promote Candy Critic, but candycritic.org. Snacks and foods. I think
Yes.
a TikTok Tom cereal would be so much fun. Little
You know what?
marshmallow hats like Jean. And then you could have like little clocks, maybe the
No,
little
no, you know
O's
what?
could be clocks
I
or something.
one friend and I were talking about this a while back, going, you don't see anymore. Maybe in the States you might chewing gum, tobacco bubble gum. Remember if it came in like
Yeah, they do
baseball
it Big League
style,
Chew.
Big League Chew. That's it. Yes,
They sell it at
yes.
Bulk Barn in Canada still. So
Do we?
yeah.
Okay. See, that's what I would want TikTok Tom thing on it. Bubble gum, baseball chewing gum.
You know what you should do, and this would be like a fun little thing to do if you ever do a show, is buy some Big League Chew and just redesign the package and just repackage it and do like a
Not a
TikTok
bad
Tom version
idea. Yeah, yeah.
because it'd be so weird.
Big League Chew, that was the name. I forgot about that. Yes.
You could call them like strands of time chewing gum.
No, no, marketing. There you go. Marketing.
So yeah, that'd be a fun little promo just to have like little packs of gum you could buy like Big League Chew and just for TikTok Tom. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, but for comics and stuff, I thought about this a while back also, where like merchandising and stuff like that. You don't see much. I what no, I mean, what I've been seeing more and more recently is, and I have seen, I think, Hellboy on it on beer cans,
Yeah.
like the image, beer
Yeah, there's
cans and craft
Star
beer
Wars
cans.
also. Star Wars has
Star
got a
Wars, yeah,
yeah. Yeah, I think that
yeah,
that might work for TikTok Tom. I think the idea of a teenage girl in Southeast Asia, I don't think a beer
yeah.
can would be.
That's it. Yeah.
I think mine would be more like some kind of weird, really ultra bright colored soda pop, like a blue, like the Japanese soda. It's called ramen. It's that bright blue soda.
No.
They used to be famous because they used to come with a marble on the top, and you have to like push the marble down, and then that's how you drink. Ask your daughter;
No.
she'll definitely know what ramen
Okay.
soda is.
Okay. Okay.
But that would be perfect because it's bright blue, and so it would work for Blue
Yeah.
Orchid. So that would work for sure. And I think
Okay.
candy bars would work for any character, really.
Oh, candy bars. Yeah, I saw someone posting Brian from Worlds Collide in Oshawa. He posted Hershey candy bars he got with Batman and Batgirl on it. And I've never seen those in the stores here. I guess
No,
maybe it's something new that's coming out.
maybe, yeah. I'm sure we'll see a bunch of stuff as the Superman DC universe unfolds.
I was this is going back many years ago. A friend of mine sent me an image of can't remember which cereal was. It had Superman on it, Batman, Flash, all the DC characters on the cereal boxes, and the artwork was nice and everything. So when I went to the store, I was looking at them, I'm going, "What the hell am I going to do buying all of these?" The artwork looked nice and stuff. We're going to sit in the closet. No one's, knowing me, no one's going to open that box. It'll stay there.
You see that wall right there?
Yeah,
That's all cereal boxes and stuff like
there you
that.
go. See, that's it. See, and that's what way my back would be same way. So that's why I didn't buy any.
The thing I do about that wall though is I every time I move, I throw it away.
Do you?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you take it with you or something.
I throw it away and start again. So if any,
But see,
I ask my friends if anybody wants anything, but then I just chuck it away.
okay, question for you about your cereal box. Let's say you have your character on the cereal box.
Yep. Of
Would you have a toy inside it?
course.
Okay, because they don't do that anymore. That's why.
No, nowadays they have either like obviously like digital stuff, like play. I've seen a lot of boxes where you like scan this code in the box, and you can then play Digipets at home and or get
Who
the Lucky
cares
Charms
about
character
that?
on Fortnite or
Come
something
on.
like that.
It's
I
that
don't know.
whole thing about putting your hand all the way for the box to get a toy. I mean, a
Yeah,
smart thing would be pouring it out, but no, as a kid, you don't care. You put your hand through all the way to get the ball, toy out,
you know what I would do if I could do if I could get the Blue Orchid cereal, and then there would be a toy inside of it. Is I would take some of those retro ones and sort of redesign them for Blue Orchid. So one of the ones I remember is there used to be this little submarine that you put baking powder in, and it would sort of bubble and float and move around and move up and down.
Oh,
I
I
do
don't
this.
remember that.
I
No.
remember there's all these like weird little plastic toys, and I remember there was one, yeah, like put baking soda inside, and the baking soda would sort of leak in and would cause air to expand, and then your submarine would float up, and then once it sort of got wet enough, it would sink back down, and then it would get wet again, and there's this little plastic toy. I would do one like in the shape of Blue Orchid, and so it looked like she was flying in the water.
Oh, that would be good. That would be good.
Or those little toys with the suction cups when you push them down, and then eventually
Yeah.
they sort of go. So I do a Blue Orchid one. So when you push it down, and then she'd fly off. So
See, that's old school stuff. Who cares about digital codes? Kids don't care about that stuff. It's they want the toy.
you're such a liar. I know that I'm sure your kids would be like, if there was like, you got a free Digimon, Pokemon digital thing
Yeah.
for your Switch. If you scan this code, they would be all over it.
Or yeah, most likely, most likely. But that's interesting. Okay, so no, the cereal boxes and all that, and the toys that would be good. Now, one thing we
What would you do for a TikTok Tom toy in a cereal box?
oh, that's interesting.
I think we're avoiding the most obvious, perfect. Actually, it sort of came with this a TikTok Tom watch.
Yes, yes.
Like maybe
Did
with a cereal box, you could send in 10 proofs of purchase.
I hold on a second? I'm gonna show you something. If I could grab it quickly, if it's right here. My buddy, a friend of ours, Scott, he makes custom watches, Wilkworks.
Okay,
Promotion for Scott. He actually, it's right here. He did make a watch,
that's awesome.
custom made watch. He made one for myself, my friend Paul, and Tom.
That's amazing.
And we got a really nice, nifty case with it and a box. So check out, I'll put Scott's link down here. Please
Definitely
contact Scott and he will custom make one for you.
get your own TikTok Tom watch.
And he does, it's all handmade watches,
Awesome.
handmade watch.
That's
See, there
awesome.
you go. We do have merchandise.
There you go.
So if you want a custom watch, please contact Scott.
I might have to get one. Although
And we did that.
I don't wear watches.
Same here. Same here. That's right. Doing a comic called TikTok Tom, doing a watch, and it's been sitting in. I think we got these done. Myself, Paul, Tom, year ago, 2 years ago, and it's been sitting in the drawer here all that time. I don't wear a watch. Never wore one.
A pocket watch would be good.
That would be yes. That would be the old style pocket watch. Yes, that would be good.
That would be awesome.
That I would get. That actually I would carry that in my pocket.
I actually have a pocket watch, like an old
Do you?
fashioned one. Yeah, it's a really old one. It was my grandfather's pocket watch he had. It's a CN pocket watch, so they used to use them for the railroads, and it's a
Oh,
really
you
old one.
mentioned that to me a while back. Yes, yes.
So I don't have it here with me. It's in a safety deposit box actually, but it's a pretty cool one. I had it restored recently too, and it's cool because I had it restored. It had a crack in the glass, and the guy who restored it didn't replace the glass, so there's still the crack in it, but he sealed the crack so it won't leak anymore. So
So you
very
have
cool.
to one day when you get a chance, pull that out. Show it to us one day on Geek Shop.
I will. I might even have a
Okay,
picture
well,
of it. If I have a picture of it, I'll post it up here.
yes, please do so. Well, I think this is a great way to end this episode. What do you say?
I think that's good. I think it's funny because I asked the question thinking, what would you merchandise if you can? What I've actually learned is we're already merchandising.
I know that's it. We're already in the money making process. Well,
No
the money's
money.
not coming in yet. Yeah,
No.
money's not coming in yet. But we're doing everything except making money on it.
We have closets full of t-shirts. That's it.
That's it. Yes. Well, thank you for watching, and please join us again on Geek Shop. Chris, let's do this again.
Bye.